Hello everyone. So this time I'm going to be preparing two videos on how to draw congruent quadrilaterals. Alright, so let's get started. So right now on the screen I think everybody is looking at a quadrilateral with all the side lengths and the angle measurements labeled. Yep. So my goal in this video is to draw another separate quadrilateral which will have the exact same measurements, okay, whether that's the side length or the angles. Okay, now like I said, right now with the quadrilateral that you are looking at, all the side length and all the angle measurements are labeled, but for me to draw a quadrilateral that's going to have all the same measurements, I actually don't need to be careful with be careful about all the measurements. So actually, for me to draw the quadrilateral that's going to have the same measurements, I'm only going to be focusing on, or I'm only going to be using information about this side length, this side length, this side length, and that side length. So I will be using information about all the side length plus this angle measurement here. I could use this one here as well, okay, but I'm going to use this one here. So in order for me to draw a quadrilateral that's going to have the exact same measurements as the quadrilateral that you see on the screen, okay, the only information I really need is, for example, all the side length and this one angle here. Okay, this angle, this angle, this angle, I don't really need to think about it. Okay, and I can again still draw a quadrilateral that's going to have the same measurements. So the first thing I'm going to do is to draw this line here. Okay, I'm going to start my drawing by drawing this line here. So I'm going to draw a line that is going to be corresponding with this line here. Okay, and because the measurement is already given, okay, I'm going to be using a ruler. Ta-da! So I know that this side length is 8.5 centimeters long. Therefore, I'm going to draw a line that is 8.5 centimeters long. By the way, the picture you see, okay, right now, the quadrilateral that you are looking at is actually not perfectly correct. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's say I measure this this line here. Sorry, I'm just going to make my ruler a bit shorter. Let's say I'm going to be measuring this line here. So you can see that this line is not 5.1 centimeters long. It's actually 3.8. Okay, so the end result, the actual quadrilateral that I'll be drawing, it will not look exactly the same as the quadrilateral that you are looking at on your screen or through your screen, but measurement wise, okay, when we look at the measurements like the side length and the angle measurements, it's going to be exactly like the one that is labeled right now. Okay, I hope you guys understand what that means. Because we see the measurements labeled on this quadrilateral, that is what I'm going to be using. So the quadrilateral that I will be drawing should have all this same measurements, whether that's the side length or the angle measurements, as the quadrilateral that we see on the screen right now. So that's what I'm going to try to draw. That's my goal. Okay, so let me continue. So like I was saying, I'm going to draw a line that is 8.5 centimeters long because I'm going to start drawing my quadrilateral from that line there. that side there, maybe I should say. So, okay, so I got my ruler set, and I'm going to draw a line that is 8.5 centimeters long. So, there we go. So now we have a side that is corresponding with that side. Next. Now actually, before I move on, I might just move that line down there, just in case I run out of space later. Okay. Next, I can see here that the angle which is created by that side and that side is 70 degrees. Okay, so maybe I'll try to create a corresponding angle, okay, over here to this angle here. So what am I going to use to create an angle? I'm going to use a protractor. So there's my protractor. Okay, now I'm going to set my protractor here so that I can create a 70-degree angle like that. Okay. Now, okay, so right now I said I'm going to focus on creating that angle, but I can actually kill two birds with one stone because I also know how long this side is. It says here, right, 7.5 centimeters long. So as I create that 70-degree angle, I'm also going to draw a side that is corresponding. So 7.5 is there. Sorry, it's a little bit hard to read. 7.5 is there. So as I created the 70-degree angle, I've also created a side that corresponds with that side there. And let me group that, and let me move it over here so it's a little bit more easier to look at. Okay, so as I was saying, now I have a side that corresponds with this side, an angle that corresponds with that angle, and a side that corresponds with that side. So what do you guys think? I think my quadrilateral is going pretty good so far. Okay, next, so next I've got two sides left for me to focus on, and I can choose either of them. Why don't I choose this one here? Okay, so I know by looking at this original diagram that this side here is 5.1 centimeters long. Okay, now here's something I'm not going to be doing. Okay, I am not going to place my ruler, okay, right there at this vertex there, and just draw any line that is 5.1 centimeters long. Now, I'll give you guys 5 seconds. Think about why Mr. U is not going to just simply place my ruler there, position my ruler there, and draw any line that is 5.1 centimeters long. Okay, I'll give you 5 seconds. Go. Alright, so well, that was 5 seconds. If you need more time, just pause the video and then think a little bit more and then continue watching, because I'm now going to explain why I am not going to just simply draw any line that is 5.1 centimeters long. Well, the answer is, okay, if I position my ruler like this at that angle, okay, my 5.1 centimeter line will be like that, right? Now, if I'm not going to move the position of this point there, but I'm just going to maybe move my ruler this way now. Now my 5.1 centimeter line will go in that direction. And you see, I could possibly draw a 5.1 centimeter in many different directions, right? From this vertex here, from this corresponding vertex here. So that's a problem, because I need to know the exact direction or the way for me to create my 5.1 centimeter line, which is this line here. Okay. Yes. Now if I look at this original diagram, I know this angle is 80 degrees. But remember, the only angle information that I'm using is this angle information here for me to draw my congruent quadrilateral, my copied quadrilateral. So I'm not going to be using this angle information. Okay? Well, so what am I going to do? I am going to get at my compass. Okay? And I'm going to set, hold on a sec, I'm going to set my compass, this is my compass's width to 5.1, which is right there. Okay, then I'm going to place the tip of the needle, I'm going to place the tip of the needle on that vertex there. Okay, and then I'm going to make a mark. Draw an arc. Okay. Now I know that my line, my 5.1 centimeter line, one tip is going to be over here, and the other tip, the other end is going to be somewhere on that arc, right? So if you can see, the other end is going to be somewhere on that arc, and that information is going to be very, very useful later. Next, I am going to focus on this side here, which is 5.4 centimeters, and basically do the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to place the tip of the needle there of my compass and set the width of my compass to 5.4, which is right there. Okay. Now, okay, I'm going to place the tip of my needle over here, okay, and then draw an arc. Now, interesting, the two arcs that I've drawn overlaps at that point. So then that information tells me that's where the end of this side here, the tip, that's where it meets with the tip of this side here, the other end. So using that information, I'm going to get rid of my protractor because I don't need that anymore. Using that information, I'm going to draw some lines. So from that point to that point, I'm going to draw a line. Okay, and then from that point to that point, I'm going to draw another line. Now we have a quadrilateral, right? Yay, we have a quadrilateral. And okay, now if we compare the quadrilateral that we just drawn with the original one, like I said, it's not going to look exactly the same. See, so if I rotate it around, okay, it doesn't look exactly the same. But if I use the measurements that are labeled on this quadrilateral, okay, and if I compare that with the measurements of this quadrilateral here, for example, this side length is 8.5 centimeters, and so is this side length. Now if I compare the two quadrilaterals based on the measurements labeled on this one, it should be exactly the same. Okay, so in that sense, the two quadrilaterals are congruent. Well, thank you for watching.